Welcome back to more of this game that I've been playing. And last time we were notified that...
I suppose I should be glad that Ham's alive, but I still don't trust him. I think he's hiding something about the marker.
I don't know.
Damn you, Kendra! How dare you interrupt me when I'm trying to talk? So be careful for those acid-spitting valves. I'm not sure what they are, or why they really exist other than to be a game obstacle. I'm not sure why this would exist on the ship. Makes no sense to me, but whatever. I'm just coming in here to show you that there is a bench there and to avoid getting hit by these things. They do cause damage, which happened to me a few times. So last time we found out that our air was being poisoned and there are 8 pod people that were turned into monsters and are contaminating the air with their poison fart gas by something big and nasty that I assume we will find out about next video, because we're not going to deal with it this video. And at this point, going up this lift, I'm not sure where we need to be looking, and there's an enemy at the top. Fantastic. This game is very blind friendly. Damn you, enemy! How dare you show up where I'm not looking, which is pretty much everywhere. I feel like that was a lucky shot, that first shot I took there. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying I feel like it's a lucky shot. And I really wish it had dropped an item, because I really need items, especially health items. I don't have much in the way of health items, and I miss out on a room, this section, that has a health item in it that I could use. Speaking of this room, get any items you can, because you're about to be accosted by multiple hostiles, and they are annoying. Oh god. Damn you! Okay. My main gripe during this section was that I hit the fire button before getting attacked there, but if the enemy came up behind me, okay. I've tried commentary for this twice and played this once and did not see that until now. But okay, if he came up behind me, I can live with that. That's fine. It's cheap, but it's fine. Damn you, enemies! You should be thanking the metal gods like Ronnie James Dio, Bruce Dickinson, Tony Iommi, Rob Halford, that you have the privilege of being killed by me. Instead, you're being disrespectful. How dare you! Damn you! I do quite like this line gun. The force gun is good, but the line gun is even better. I'm trying to waste ammo on the force gun because it's not a gun I think it's going to be my primary weapon. But it is what I plan on carrying throughout my main loadout. I have purchased the contact beam, and that is a gun that I'm going to be carrying with me, primarily because of ammo. And here I'm just going to be walking around collecting items, which is why I didn't think you needed to see this in normal speed. The ammo for the contact beam sell for $1,000 per bullet, so I felt like that's a gun that was worth carrying with me. And those moans you're hearing, those are the sounds of the pod people. There are 2 of them in this area, and 2 more we're going to get later on. So I feel like there's something we should kill, because they're contaminating our area with this poison fart gas. And I established in Resident Evil Code Veronica, we cannot have that. Even though I need to re-record that LP, which I have not done to this point. And as soon as you come out this door, there are enemies! Hooray! Because we can't think of an original gameplay mechanic that doesn't involve fighting enemies. We couldn't just have us kill this thing, go kill the next one, and move on without another enemy. One of the less annoying enemies in this video, though. There are going to be quite a few of its kindred that are quite annoying. Small enemies that can move wherever they want really fast in areas that are hard for me to see are pretty annoying. Although I still don't know why there's a jungle sound effects in an area that there are no animals in. Weird. What are you going to do? Every time you approach one of these enemies with the poison fart gas, you will get a stasis air meter thing because they're contaminating the air, so you can't show up without just using your air pack. Like we're in a zero oxygen atmosphere. So as soon as you kill that thing, be ready because a slasher is going to spawn through here. We're going to take care of this thing, no problem. So do what I do and you'll survive, which is rare that I can say that about my game. Do that, and time mine. Let's try to move away as quickly as we can. And we're good. Hopefully it dropped an item, because I really need items. Thank you. I really need health items. And when we go out here, there are going to be more enemies, because again, this game can't think of a way to change things up without just adding more enemies. Damn you, enemy! Take that! This explodes! That's what I think of you. You're a dick. Now exploding and thinking the enemy is a dick are the same thing, I don't know. Me exploding on a cute girl's face? Well, that's a different thing altogether that I don't need to talk about. We're looking for the lift. This thing has 3 floors. We're on the first floor now. We're going to go to the second floor for game progress. You can go to the third floor, which I do off screen. And there are plenty of items to pick up there. There's nothing that will impede your progress.
Warning. Toxics detected in atmosphere processing. A repair technician has been notified.
I have a feeling that repair technician is not showing up. However, when you come up here, level 3, there's nothing that will progress the game, but there are plenty of items to pick up, so I do highly recommend going up there and picking up any items that are there. One of them is an item you can sell for, I believe, $10,000. So be aware of that. I definitely want to save my game here so that we can move on. Item here, let's pick that up. Now, if you go up to floor 3, I would recommend going back to the main hub that we started this area with and selling that item so it doesn't take up inventory space, because you will pick up plenty of items. Or completing this area and then coming back to floor 3 of that area, because you can do that. There's another area that I'm pretty sure I screwed myself out of being able to go to, where you get a power node and a medium health pack. As far as I can tell, I cannot get back to. Unless it's in a different area than I was thinking it was in, and I'll find out before I play the next segment for the next video. And we got another one of these things in here. We're gonna get a couple regenerators, so I was trying to do what I could to hopefully avoid a regenerator spawning that body. Damn you, enemy, and your poison fart gas! Call you Alexander Ashford. I love these time mines. They may become my primary source of weaponry. And here I just use the pulse rifle because I'm hoping that this is the last video they use the pulse rifle. I'm not sure that that's going to be the case, but I'm hoping that this is the last time I use this thing. My goal is to get to the point where this gun is fully armed, maxed out on ammo, essentially. And I'm picking up items here, and then we're going to have a cut. I'm going to search this area, and there's going to be nothing that I find. So I'm hoping the pulse rifle will be full on ammo with no extra ammo, just in case I end up in a situation where I do need it, which I highly doubt will happen. And then I want to have no extra ammo for it, but instead of selling it, I'd rather use the ammo. so that I have plenty of ammo for everything else. I've been selling pulse rounds like they're nothing. So save your game here and let's move on. So we're going to a 0G area. I'm going to use the pulse rifle again. Coming up. As soon as this door opens, it's being a dick, and that's why it's taking forever. This is a new enemy. I believe they are explosive. So be careful with them. As long as you shoot their explosives, you should be good. I have absolutely no idea where they are. I just shoot and hope for the best. I didn't have too much trouble with them. It's gonna be more. Unfortunately, there's going to be a segment in this video where I can use the pulse rifle that I don't have it, because I'm going to go all the way back to drop it off for something else. I'm not sure what I drop it off for, but I do drop it off. I was trying to use all the ammo I could for this thing, and then the game started giving me more ammo for it, and I'm like, God damn it, I don't want more ammo for this gun. It's pretty useless, except for in that segment where I was grabbed by that tentacle beast. And at this point, I went back and saved. That's why the jump cut. And we're going to enter a 0G area. At this point, I can't remember what I replaced the pulse rifle with. I think the force gun. I know I have the contact beam, so I can pick up its ammo in order to sell it for money.
Entering zero gravity.
0G, this can be annoying if you get lost, which will happen to me, but this first part, I know exactly where I'm going. We're also going to hear some music in this section, which for me is the best music we've had in the game so far. As soon as you do that, there are going to be annoying enemies that spawn. I have no idea where they are. Area is hard for me to see. There's no contrast, and these enemies can move around a lot, so you're getting a little bit of what you're missing when I have jump cuts, and then there's going to be jump cuts to me killing these things. This is pretty annoying. You enemies! Show up in my field of vision so I can kill you, which took a lot longer than I'd like to admit. You can see in my desperation by using plenty of line gun ammo that I just wanted them dead. If I'm calm and collected, I would freeze them and use a timed mine and only use one line rack rather than 3, but at this point I was just happy to find them and kill them. So at this point I dicked around a bit and got lost, and so I ended up back at the starting area. See the stasis place where I refilled my stasis. Good there. That's where the items were I picked up. And now we can actually move forward. I didn't know a good way of editing that other than just to show me coming back here. I have no idea where to go in this area once I got lost. I did, however, find a pickup. There was an item that I could have got, but my inventory was full, which is annoying because then I lost out on it, because by the time I figured out my inventory, the item had floated off. Fuck you, game. Fuck you. And speaking of fuck you, here's an annoying work story of mine. So in my building, there are 5 bathrooms. 2 men's with multiple stalls, 2 women's with multiple stalls, and 1 single bathroom. Of course, everybody wants the single bathroom. I didn't notice until about 2015 or 16 people starting to use that. That's about when I decided to start using that one. I'd gone to the single bathroom yesterday. I did what I needed to do, not a big deal. I exited the bathroom, and in between the bathroom and the main hallway, there's one individual room. I don't know what the point of that individual room is, but it's there. And it was dark. There was no light in there, except the light from the main hallway. So I took a second to look at my phone. And next thing I noticed, there's a woman standing right there looking at me. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? Yeah, you knew this was going to be a cut. I talked about this already, why this was going to be a thing. I believe there are 2 of them here, if I'm not mistaken. I think one of them might have been cut. I actually really like the music in this area. This is the first area where there's music I actually really like. It's more ambient than anything else, but I think it's really good. I wish it was in a more atmospheric area. I know there's a lot of situations here where I use health, as I'm dying for health at this point. Look, I get in certain situations a restaurant where they just have a male and female individual toilet. You're going to have people waiting. But when I'm at work, with all the restrooms I mentioned, I don't expect to exit the single toilet and have somebody standing there looking essentially at me. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is she there? And thank the metal gods, we are out of 0G for the moment. We're going to enter another one later on this video. We've got 8 of these pod people to kill and a boss to fight. We're going to kill the 8 pod people this video. This is just me desperately searching for a save at this point. The game was quite unfair. So instead we're going to enter a loud area.
System still active. Entering the filtration tubes is extremely hazardous.
Guess where we're going to enter? The filtration system.
Hello? Hello, security? Thank God. This is Dr. Croft in hydroponics. I'm trying to locate second engineer Jacob Temple. I can't get through to engineering. Of course I know there's a ship-wide medical alert. That's why I'm trying to locate him. No, we're safe for now, but the tram is down and we can't reach the escape pod. Hello? Hello?
I love the desperation in her voice when the last time she says hello. So good. So good. I'm sure I'll be very critical of this game going forward. I think it's way too much of a Resident Evil 4 clone, especially that pretty much the primary gameplay is just running around fighting things. But I think that was really well done. Easy to expect that if you walk through that, you get killed. And here you can see that I learned. Whenever I can melee one of these things, I'll do that. The first video, I didn't realize I could do that. I believe the second time I came across these things, I also didn't realize I could do that. Actually, I remember I tried and couldn't get him to melee it for some stupid reason. And once we get in here, I believe an enemy is going to attack. It can be a upgraded slasher or an explosive dude. I guess explosive dude. And these things actually have a voice to them. I think they actually say stuff, but it's so muffled you can't really hear it. Oh God. Get away from me, you freak! Nobody likes you. I think it's actually dead, but I wasn't sure of that at the time. You might be able to hear the moaning of an annoying fart gas monster. We're going to go ahead and kill that as soon as we can get to it. So I'm not sure why these dudes were showing up here. If this is dangerous, why were they hanging about there unless they thought this would keep them from the aliens? I'm assuming all these monsters that we're facing once were people. I could be wrong. And these things can barbecue. Why this guy did not barbecue, I have no idea. I'm not happy about that, but what are you gonna do? I'm gonna kill it nonetheless. So moral of the story is, do not hang outside the bathrooms unless it's absolutely necessary. And once this thing goes again, I'm gonna move forward. This reminds me a little bit of a section in Onimusha 1, and if you have not played the Onimusha series, you really should. The first game was remastered and re-released for the
PS4. It was originally a PS2 title and a great game. I believe it was one of the launch titles for the PS2. I haven't played the remaster, but the original was really solid, so I'm sure the remaster is pretty good.
And that should be the 4th of these 8 poison fartcast monsters. So let's go ahead and move on. And throughout this elevator, we're gonna hear some voices, some weird noises. I'm gonna be silent for that. Except, I think that might be a deathland elevator. It was. Alright, well, never mind. So now I'm just trying to figure out where to go. There's a room with a medium med pack and a power node that I missed. I don't know if it's this room or another one. I was not able to get back to it. Unlike the 3rd floor that I mentioned before that you can actually get back to. I think it was in this area, and I cannot get back to it. Which does anger me, I'm not gonna lie. Right, I think it's this elevator that has the weird noises and voices. Alright, and that was enough of that. But I did want you to be able to hear that. We did get a loudspeaker message about something that I don't really care about. I think he was talking about that big thing that's the boss will face next video. So I'm trying to be careful because we have a pregnant monster here. I talked about this the first time we saw these things. You gotta be careful. You hit it in the wrong spot, which I do here. Get a swarm to deal with. Now, fortunately, we've got a situation like the first time we dealt with a swarm. Gotta kill this thing, where they'll get stuck on this door frame. So, not too big of a deal. Kill a lot of them here. Ones that actually come after me. Unfortunately, there's going to be 1 or 2 that are hanging about. That is going to cause me a problem in a moment. If you've been watching this LP to this point, you'll notice that I have had a lot of trouble with those things. That was a precaution in case I got something with that, and I don't believe I did. Annoying, but what are you going to do? I did the best I could. This is what you get when you have a visually impaired person playing a game. Oh god. There's still some swarm around here. Damn you! Damn you! I really hate the swarm. I don't know why they're a thing. Except to be annoying. They're an awful enemy choice. Run! Had I known there had been one left, I would have ran away right away. So we could fight this thing proper. I don't like the enemies in this game. I'm not gonna lie. I think to this point it's been a good game. But I am starting to see some of the flaws in this game. And I admit a lot of that is due to my visual impairment, but still, pretty damn annoying. And at this point I'm just hunting around for items. I'm not sure where that room is with the medium med pack and the power node. I would really like it if I could go back and pick those items up, but I'm not sure. And this is fast forwarded because all we're doing is backtracking to the main hub where we started this video. Nothing interesting happens. There's the acid stuff that I'm trying to avoid. Once you avoid that, you're good, and just go through here, and we're good. So, that's half of those poison fart gas monsters down. I assume anything I'm showing here is important. These are upgrades that I make to the line gun. I'm going to make some upgrades to the stasis module, which are going to be very useful coming up after I do them. And I'm pretty sure max out the damage for the plasma cutter this video. So that should be nice. So there's a file you can pick up. I'll show that here in a bit. I want to make sure to kill this thing first. These things are a lot easier to kill when you have explosive barrels. That was my successful attempt at killing these things without taking damage. And it does take me a bit to realize that no tentacles have spawned. And this is a text dialogue that I missed. I did want to show that. I have no idea what it says because I have not bothered to read it. But I'm sure it says something wonderful and interesting. And I did go back and save, so I did not have to do that all over again. So in one of these doors is a bench. I'll show that here in a second. In this one are enemies. So if you do that, get out of here, you're good. I do love that timed mine and the stasis. Very good. So the ammo capacity for the plasma cutter is basically at this point just an it would be nice situation. If I have the opportunity to use power nodes on it, I will. If not, I don't really care. But I will have maxed out the damage by the end of this video. I'm pretty sure on that one. My next goal will be to max out the damage on the line gun, as those are my two primary weapons in this game. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with the force gun and the Ripper as my other two main weapons. Although I'm going to carry the contact beam most of the time just because of the money I can sell the ammo for. It's not going to care for, although I will use it at some point just to show it off. Alright, so we kind of got to do the same thing we did in the first half of this video. Fantastic. Go through here. Instead of a swarm of enemies, we're going to get a little bit of a better option. I do prefer this.
Quarantine activated.
So for this, we're going to get another one of those brutes. Brutes are kind of a staple of most games. They are a bit unique for this game. I was thinking I hadn't seen one of these in a while. There was probably 2 videos back we got one, but you know, what are you going to do? I take this thing down like a little bitch. Come on, motherfucker. You can stasis it and get behind it. You're good. Like a bitch. Oh, yeah. And I believe this thing gives off a power node, which is very nice. Again, we're getting that whispering. They talk about successful communication, distress calls received, different stuff. I'm not sure what all they say. Apparently it's important to the story. I don't know. I honestly don't care at this point. I know enough about what happens to Isaac, Nicole, the black guy. Search and rescue apparently is a thing. And Kendra. So I'm good, honestly, as far as the story goes. Another one of these things to kill. The first of 4 more. Die, motherfucker. Nobody likes you. You might have been a nice person in life, but in death, you're a git. Cool. Unfortunately, I don't believe this area actually respawns enemies, which is nice. There will be some on our way back, which is annoying. But in the meantime, we actually get a break from enemies. I feel like this game is way too much of running around just shooting enemies, and not enough puzzles or platforming or anything interesting. The 0G sections are kind of interesting. They could have created some interesting platforming stuff with that, but they don't really do anything with it, which I will give them the benefit of the doubt. This was the first game that introduced that mechanic that I know of. So I feel like that's not too bad. The fact that they introduced it is okay. Give me items! But there's not really a whole lot to this game other than run around and shoot enemies. And that does make a game like this kind of boring. There's no different camera angles or anything to keep anything interesting. And the story is okay, but nothing super compelling. Right, so the next one of these poison monsters we gotta kill was pretty annoying for me. I figured out pretty easily what you need to do, but it took me a while to do this. So I found the thing Stasis did and did this. You have to hit that switch in order to open up that panel in order to kill the thing. It's at least the most creative hiding place for one of these things that we'll get out of the 8 of these. But I did still find this kind of annoying. So next we need to move upstairs. I believe that is 6 of the 8 that we need to kill. One of them is going to be super easy. I believe that's the next one we're going to get, which is nice. I do like that at least one of them is super easy to kill without a catch to it. No enemies spawn because of this. That is this one. So that's cool. Something nice I will definitely take. The last one is going to be, for me, a pain in the dick. If you're good at this game or have normal eyesight, probably not too bad. Go up the lift. Or down the lift, whatever. Whatever. It's not a big deal. Just go where you need to go, and you'll be okay. This is not a walkthrough, so I don't mind not knowing exactly where to go. I did watch the first 2 episodes of Star Trek Picard, and that show is not very good. I think I talked about that last video.
Hydroponics log, Dr. Cross reporting. Something huge just slammed into the hull near food storage. It wasn't a rogue asteroid. I know what that sounds like. But it was big and heavy. I'll report again when I know more.
Okay. I guess when she was talking about something huge, she was not talking about my penis, unfortunately. Although, to be fair, I don't know if Elizabeth Cross is attractive or not. So, if she's not attractive, then there would be no reason for her to know. Alright, so this area I found kind of annoying. So, when you open this door up, there is some money. Telekinesis that to you and save your game. I would rather have used my pulse rifle for this section. Instead, I'm using the line gun. By accident, because I did not realize this was a thing. I've already put my pulse gun up in favor of my force gun. Fortunately, the line rack worked. I was really ticked off until I looked in my inventory and realized I had about 4 boxes of full line racks. Then I wasn't so worried. That thing killed me quite a few times when I tried to use the plasma cutter to do that, because I can't see where the gun is aiming.
Temple, Acting Chief Engineer. I came down here to find Dr. Elizabeth Cross, but she's not here. In fact, I can't find anyone. Just more of this organic shit everywhere. I'm going to check the mining deck. It's about the only place I haven't looked yet.
Honestly, and at this point I went back and upgraded my stasis module. It will be very helpful coming up. So don't mind all the jump cuts. I was just headed this way. That's the room we were in where we picked up that file from Temple. Damn it, game. Just pick up the item. This is our last 0G area of the video, at least.
Entering zero gravity.
Still kind of annoying. We got one more monster to kill. At this point, I tried this several times because I wasn't sure where to go after we hit this next area. So there's a bunch of electricity. We need a stasis. Now I've upgraded my stasis module, which does give me extra time to figure this out. And we need to 0G jump over here. Now we need to move quickly, which thankfully I do there. Don't ask me how. And of course, once I do that, we get accosted by more enemies. If you don't make that 0G jump, you get electrocuted. So be aware of that. And I'm sure I took a lot of damage to this annoying ass little enemy. Probably a couple of them there. But now we're in an area where the last of these poison fart gas monsters are. I cut as much of this as I could, but whenever I do the compass mode, I'm gonna call it compass mode because I don't know what it's called. All I can see is the bright light that flashes around me until I do it a few times. I edited that out as much as I could. I did a ton of editing, as I always do to these. So if that's annoying, I do apologize, but I did the best I could as far as editing is concerned. And I do have a full-time job, so I did not feel like replaying this section. It probably would have come out as a better video, but this is the best I could do. More of these things. These things are assholes. I know sometimes items they drop can fly away. I was trying desperately to get them. It looks like they stayed there, which is nice. My comments there will have been muted. Don't worry about what I said. Nothing important. So the last of these poison fart gas monsters we need to kill should be right over here. So let's kill it so we can move on. Make the air breathable again.
That's the last one, Isaac. There's a switch in atmosphere control to restart the oxygen recycling. Once the air's clean, you can get into food storage.
Good to hear.
Isaac, I've been reading these reports. The crew all began having mass hallucinations. And... well, I just saw my brother on a security monitor. And that's just not possible.
It's not just us.
That's not good. Kendra's freaking out. Isaac's hearing calls from Nicole on the radio. Seems like our whole group is starting to freak out a bit. Losing it, if you will. Which is not good, obviously. Whatever will we do? I guess move forward and hope for the best? Positive thoughts. I did get confirmation, and this might be a bit of a spoiler, but this game is 12 years old, that my theories on Nicole were headed towards the right direction. So that's good to know. I'm glad to know I'm figuring games out. At least the plot. It does take me a bit to find my way around here. Now, the couple people I'm thinking of that might actually watch this video and comment have already completed this game, so I'm not worried about spoiling anything for them. If you haven't seen this game before, one, thanks for picking my LP. It's very surprising, but thank you nonetheless. Whee! It's probably one of the coolest jumps we've made so far.
Exiting zero gravity.
But 2, I don't think it's that big of a spoiler. I could be wrong, though. We'll see how it plays out. And now we're basically just heading all the way back to where we started this video. Great. Fortunately, a lot of it will be in fast forward mode to save time. And I'm pretty sure nobody really wants to watch all this in normal speed. So all we're doing is backtracking. So it's kind of sad. I can't really think of any new stories I have to tell besides the bathroom story I told earlier. Which that one was just annoying. The deaf guy at work still says fuck to me all the time, which is really annoying. Be ready, monsters are abound. Do that. We're going to do this several times. Unfortunately, that first kill was censored. Stupid doors. But we'll make do. Oh, you rah 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 all you want. What do you think you are, a cheerleader? Because you're a goddamn ugly cheerleader if you are. I'm a fan of cheerleaders, but not you, buddy. Not you. Now you're dead, so it doesn't matter what you are. Every now and again, going through that corridor, I was hearing random sounds, and I know at some point I tried looking for items. Found jack shit. And upgrading time. I believe this is where I max out the damage for the plasma cutter. It's a weapon I use a lot. I figured I might as well have it fairly maxed out.
Isaac, where are you? Help me.
Still reminds me of Cheryl in Silent Hill 1.
Flushing all air vents. Restoring nitrogen and oxygen levels. Food storage lockdown lifted.
Fantastic. We accomplished something this video. Did you ever think it was possible? I didn't. But we did it anyways. And we'll see what we'll accomplish next time when we continue this game. Thanks for watching.